Hello everybody. Today we will be having our 34th lecture series, and today we are going to discuss about a very important topic that I have already mentioned in my Facebook, YouTube as well as in my LinkedIn handle profile, that we will be discussing about employees provident fund. This is very important to understand that all the employees who are going to join an organization, they have to contribute a little amount of money from their salary to the employees provident fund, and not only the employees part but also the employer will also similarly contribute the same kind of contribution to the employees provident fund. And this employees provident fund is actually being managed by employees provident fund organization. Now this is very also important to understand that the employees provident fund organization has been established under a statute or an act of a parliament. I will come to that point, and I will discuss all the things regarding how the pay structure is being made by the employers, and how the EPF amount or the employees provident fund amount is being deducted from the employee's account on the employee contribution, and similar to the contribution which is made by the employer. Now, employees provident fund organization is one of the two main social security agency. It is a social security agency of the governments of India, Ministry of Labour and Employment, and is also responsible for the regulation and management of Provident Fund in India other than employee state insurance. We will also cover the important area like employee state insurance. I will give a little bit of a brief introduction about the Employees Provident Fund organization in this part of lecture, part 1 of the Employees Provident Fund. Then I will enter into the details of the Employee Provident Fund. Now, the EPFO or the Employee Provident Fund organization administers the retirement plans for the employees in India, which comprises the mandatory provident fund, a basic pension fund, a scheme, or death or a disability insurance scheme. Now, it also manages social security agreements with other countries, and international workers are covered under EPFO plans in countries where bilateral agreements have been signed. As of May 2021, 19 such agreements are in place. The EPFO's top decision-making body is the Central Board of Trustees (CBT), a statutory body which has been established under the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952 and Employees and 1952. And as of 2021, the data which is available as of 2021, more than 15.6 lakh crore, that is $209 billion under EPFO management. So a huge sum of money is being pooled in the EPFO. On 1st October 2014, the government of India launched a very important a platform, I should say. It's called UAN, Universal Account Number, for employees to be covered by the EPFO to enable the Provident Fund number portability. Now, UN number means that if you get the UN number, it will retain with you throughout your life, even if you change your employer. So this is a very good move technically, and it is for the portability purpose, that it can, and it consists of some 16 or 18 digits, and the UN card is being hosted on the website of the EPFO, and the subscriber or the employee can take down that card. For example, he changes from employee X to Y. Then he will be changing the employer, but he will not be allotted a new UN number. This is the universal account number, and it will be the same account number will be carried on to the next employer, and it goes on like that. Now, Employees Provident Fund organizations are part of India's social security system, ensuring that the financial security of the employees operating under the jurisdiction of the governments of India's Ministry of Labour and Employment, the EPFO, is entrusted with the regulation and oversight of the provident funds in the nation in conjunction with the employee state insurance. And it was established in 1951 through the enactment of the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act. The EPFO's responsibility encompasses the management of the mandatory provident fund, fundamental pension schemes, disability and death insurance, as well as the facilitation of the social security agreements with the various international partners. The first Provident Fund Act was passed in 1925 for regulating the provident fund of some private concerns, was limited in scope. In 1921, the Royal Commission on the Labour stressed the need for creating a provident fund for industrial workers. In the Indian Labour Conference in 1948, it was generally agreed that the introduction of the statutory provident fund for industrial workers should be undertaken. The Coal Mines Provident Fund scheme was launched in 1948, and the success of this fund led to the demand for its expansion to the other industries. The Constitution of India, enacted in 1950, a non-justifiable directive that the state shall, within the limits of its economic capacity, make effective provision for securing the right to work, to education, and to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, and sickness and disablement and undeserved want. According to the last month of 1951, the witnessed the promulgation of Employees Provident Fund Organization, which came into effect on the 15th of November 1951, it was later replaced by the Employees Provident Fund Act. The Employees Provident Fund scheme, framed under Section 5 of the Act, was introduced in stages and came into force in its entirety by 1st of November 1952. The cement, cigarette, electric, mechanical, and general engineering products, iron, steel, paper, and textile industry were affected by the Act. The Act and the schemes framed under it are administered by the Central Board of Trustees, which consists of representatives of the central government and the state governments, employers and employees, and the board administers a contributory provident fund, a pension scheme, and an insurance scheme for the workforce engaged in the organized sector in India. The board is chaired by the Union Labour Minister of India. The following three schemes which are operations are: Employee Provident Scheme 1952, Employee Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme 1976, and Employee Pension Scheme 1995, replacing the Employee Family Pension Scheme 1971. In March 2022, EPFO lowered the interest rate to 8.1% for the fiscal year 21-22. On 30th of August 2022, EPFO proposed to remove the restrictions on the wage ceiling and the headcount to allow all formal workers and self-employed to enroll in these retirement savings schemes. I will go into the details of the structure in my next part of the series of the Employees Provident Fund, and we will discuss in detail the structure, the administration, how the Provident Fund is being operated, and it will be very helpful for those who are starting their own business, undertaking factory, organization, any kind of offices, or the employees or the employers who will be engaging, who will be having a duty towards the employees in the form of social security. Thank you very much for joining.